Hey, let me remind you. That one of our classroom rules, number 2, says listen quietly to the speaker. So if Patrick's speaking, we're supposed to be listening. If Cox is speaking, we're supposed to be listening. You need to focus your mind because what we're learning today is important.
Everything we're learning is important.
Before lunch, we were reading the 2 articles, one without text features and then one with. So we talked about some of the text features that y'all noticed right off the bat, like the pictures, the captions, the title. Another thing that I saw that was very important. So there are bolded words like amphibian, immense. So we've got some bolded words. Hatchling. So if we go down, there's a glossary, and it tells us what those bolded words mean. Which, that's kind of like y'all's word snowbox in Scholastic. Those words are always in bold, and y'all look at the word snowbox and it tells you what they mean. So let's look at the meaning of these words. Can someone give me the definition of amphibian? Shelby, will you read it for me?
A creature that spends part of its life on land and part in water.
Thank you so much. Johnny, will you read the definition of hatchling?
Hatchling. A newly born creature, fresh from its hatching of it. From an egg.
Charlie, will you read the definition of event?
Extremely large.
Thank you. Caden, will you read the definition of paleontologist?
Someone who studies fossils.
Someone who studies fossils. So, if we don't know what a word means, in an informational text, a lot of times there's going to be a glossary. That's going to be a text feature that it's going to have, and it can help us. We can go look at the glossary and find out what it means. Okay. Another thing that I really liked about this article is that it had a map. It showed you where Madagascar is, where the frog was found, where it was. Because I've heard of the movie Madagascar. I didn't know where Madagascar was.
Yeah.
I watched that movie, but I'd never heard of like where the actual country was. So I really thought it was interesting to learn where it was. And it also helps us visualize the part of the world this frog is coming from.
On the far right.
Shelby, you have a question?
On like Scholastic News and stuff.
Yeah.
Is the words to know like a little glossary?
It is,
Goes
yeah.
to that,
You
like,
kind of call it like a little glossary. Yeah.
On the far right of that map, it shows where it actually is in Madagascar to South America.
It does. It sure does, Hinton. Yep, it shows us the continent of Africa, where Madagascar is. Then it shows us like the country of Madagascar, and it shows us like all the continents.
How did it get over there?
This is South America.
How did it get past like the water?
Yeah.
They believe
Well,
it was
see, remember
connected.
in the article, it said they thought that at one point there might have like the continents of Antarctica, Africa, and South America might have been connected.
They were once together and then they eventually broke up.
Kind of look South America. It looks like you could fit on that piece of Africa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could fit.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is look at our Scholastic News. We are going to read the article Skating in a War Zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Tanner.
Yeah.
It's not actually saying it.
Tanner is the
You're welcome.
Are these like green?
No, they're not.
I love the smell of slime. It smells like paper. Show me.
Okay, who doesn't have a splash?
Oh, it does smell like something.
Okay, so your no name.
Oh,
Write your name on it.
actually, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I could have looked at
like
the
my pocket handwriting.
I mean, they could have looked on this paper.
So, So, when we read this article in Scholastic News, we're going to see a lot of the text features that we talked about that I want y'all to notice. You know, we're going to see some bolded words. We're going to see some headings, a title. We're going to see like a sidebar box with information, a map. So I want y'all to take notice of all of those things in Scholastic News. Okay. So this article is called Hope on Wheels. First, we get to page 2. Page 2. What page? 2. So this article is called Hope on Wheels. And I want y'all to start out by looking at the word snowbox. Maddie, will you please read the first word to know for us?
Terrorist adjective relative to the use of violence to harm people in an effort to achieve their goals.
Okay, thank you. Piper, will you read the second word for us?
Impose. For past tense, force others to accept.
Okay. So this article is about a group of children who live in Afghanistan, and they go to a school that teaches them how to skate, and they also learn things there. It's really, really cool.
Hope on Wheels. In a country torn apart by war, a unique school is giving kids hope for a brighter future. As you read, think about what makes Skateistan different from most schools. Teens stand on top of a 6-foot-tall platform. They hold their skateboards, eagerly waiting their turn to fly down the ramp. Meanwhile, younger skaters carefully weave through orange traffic cones. All around them, the sound of laughter mixes with the rattle of skateboard wheels. This may seem like a scene from your local skate park, but it's actually taking place at a unique school run by an organization called Skateistan. The school gives hundreds of students a safe place where they can play, learn, and just be kids. That's especially important because they live in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. Kids in that nation in Central Asia have grown up surrounded by war. Life in a war zone. Afghanistan has been plagued by violence for decades. In 1996, a terrorist group called the Taliban took control of the country. It imposed many strict laws and banned music, TV, and movies. It also took away many basic rights, especially from women and girls. Women weren't allowed to work outside the home or show their faces in public. Girls older than 8 were forbidden to attend school. In October 2001, the U.S. and its allies invaded Afghanistan. See sidebar. They forced the Taliban from power and helped set up a new government. Still, nearly 20 years later, the war continues as the Taliban fights to regain control. Skating school. In the middle of this war zone, Skateistan was born. It started with an Australian man named Oliver Perkovich. In 2007, he moved to Kabul and brought his skateboards. Wherever he went, curious kids crowded around him. It turned out that they had never seen a skateboard before. That inspired Perkovich to open the nation's first skateboarding school. Since the start of the war, life has slowly improved for many Afghans, including girls and women. But most girls still don't have the same opportunities boys have, and girls are discouraged from playing sports. At Skatistan, however, female students are free to skateboard, play soccer, and ride bikes. Skatistan was like a dream for me, says 12-year-old Laika. Getting an education. But there's much more to Skatistan than just sports. Students can take classes in reading, writing, math, art, and other subjects. For many of them, including Laika, Skatistan is the first school they've ever attended. Unfortunately, that isn't surprising. According to the United Nations, nearly half of all school-aged children in Afghanistan don't have access to education. Today, Skatistan runs schools in 3 countries. At each school, the mission is the same: to empower kids to become leaders in their communities. I want to go to university and become a good teacher, says Zarafshan, a 13-year-old student in Kabul. My country needs good teachers more than anything else. What you need to...
Okay. So, I don't know about y'all, but I'm really, really glad that we live in a country where kids can go to school, they can play anyhow they want to, you don't have to be a boy or a girl to play certain things, you can go to school. I'm really, really grateful that we have those things. And I'm also really happy that there's a place like this in Afghanistan, and these kids are getting to have some kind of change. Hopefully in the future, they'll be free. Anyone can go to school, anyone can play any kind of way.
All of them had what TV?
What? Well, it said that the Taliban, they banned TV, they banned
Music.
the internet,
So they had all
music.
this stuff before.
I think they used some technology before the Taliban got rid of that kind of stuff. But I'm glad that they have a place like this they can go to and kind of, have some normalcy. Okay, so the next thing I want y'all to do, I want y'all to go to the back of the magazine and take a minute to answer questions 1 through 3. What questions?
1 through 3.
1 through 3.
I'm just asking. Yeah.
Whenever you get done, put your pencils down so I can see you finish. everyone is finished answering those questions. So we will go over those really quick. There we go. Okay, someone read the first question for me and give me their answer. Carson, can you read it?
Why does the author write, especially words that shape understand in the same place?
Okay, what was your answer? D. Yes, good job. Mary Taylor, will you read number 2 and give us your answer?
Which of these happened first? B. The Taliban gained power in Afghanistan.
Great job. Hinton, will you read number 3? Give us your answer.
From the article, you can infer that the student called Lydia is grade D.
D, okay. Great job. Okie dokie. So, the next thing that we are going to do, I have a worksheet that goes along with our Scholastic Muse that I'm going to have your work. Okay. I'm going to put some papers here and on my desk over here. And whichever one is closest to you, you'll just get it off the desk. Now, everybody wants to Okay, so this paper, it focuses on text features, and up at the top where it says types of text features, it gives you several options of text features from the article that you can write about in these boxes. So I'm going to do one with y'all, but I want someone to tell me what type of text features they want me to do. Caroline.
Sidebar.
Sidebar? Okay. So at the top of the first box where it says text feature, you're going to put sidebar, since that's the one that we're doing. And under that, it says what it tells me. So what does the sidebar tell us?
Information about the
information that's not in the
Okay. It gives us extra information on something in the text. Like in our article that we just read, it mentioned the war in Afghanistan, and the sidebar covered information on the war in Afghanistan. So it tells us extra information about something from the text. Okay. It tells us extra information about something from the text. Okay.
I'm gonna give everyone just a second to get that written down. And then where it says why it's important. Why do y'all think the sidebar is important?
It might say something that you didn't
It could give us information that will help us. Brett, like
It explains more about something in the text.
that kind of goes along with what Shelby said. Like it gives us more information. Kinley?
It can help you like understand more about the text and give you a little bit of
So it gives us more information about something mentioned in the text. So it gives us more information about something mentioned in the text. Okay. So when y'all get finished with that, I want you to do the other 3 boxes on your own. And I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, that one does, but you might not see that for everyone. Okay, so right there, what it tells me, it shows the details. Okay, so instead of showing the details on the finger, we might say, it allows us to visualize. To visualize things we're reading about.
And if you happen to finish early, go ahead and take a look at those other articles in Scholastic News. extra minute, I actually want to show y'all the short video that goes along with our class meeting.
Oh, the one where it shows their
Shows
skateboard.
the skating. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. There we go. So yeah, we'll go ahead and watch that video because it is cool.
Culture Connections. Hope on Wheels. In a country torn apart by war, a unique school is giving kids hope for a brighter future.
That's not what we want.
That must be fun.
Like, you know how they're
That's better than our local skate park.
Not only did it look really fun and cool, but they help those kids so much. They help them with homework. They provide good role models for them. They have a place where they can feel safe. So it really is a great, great place. Okay, so what, sweetie?
I love the music.
Oh, you love the music? You thought the music was cool?
If you want to start skateboarding,
It was really cool. Okay, so the last thing I want y'all to do, I'm passing out Post-its, and I want y'all to write down your favorite kind of text structure that you learned about today, and why you like it. You can write more than one.
I want to write all
Yes, yeah, you can write down.
What are we doing?
Why am I saying that? I don't have this. I'm not doing my number. You know what I did like? It's just like I woke up with my eyes closed. I like woke up and I'm like, I can't see. Like I shut open my eyes and hurt me like my eyes were just like and I took like a breath like I'm done. It hurts to take the brown rubber like all my stuff. Alright, so we have to write it out.
Yeah, just write if you like photos.
Ever since my eyes were burning,
I'm writing.
You're writing down your favorite kind of text structure. For text and
I doubt if you watch the video. Just talk. Don't
You don't know that.
Don't jinx.
Did y'all know that
It was proof on
thunder
it.
is the sound of lightning?
No.
Well, now tips are up.
And however many seconds you hear it after the lightning is how many
No, you actually don't. Actually, lightning doesn't make a sound. It's whenever it hits the ground, like it vibrates the ground, and that's what makes
I
it
learned
sound.
that by myself.
It hits the ground super hard, and it causes like lightning to shoot out. What?
What?
The lightning. He said the sound of the thunder is the sound of lightning. Lightning doesn't have a sound until it actually hits the ground because it vibrates the ground and the air and stuff, and it makes the sound. Hey
Another really,
Yeah, my eyes
really
are so
cool
shut.
thing about text features.
I was able to get my red one up.
Another really neat thing about text features is you don't just see them at school. You see them all the time in your everyday life. I mean, you see them when you see your parents in the newspaper, or when you are watching TV, or when you're looking at the internet, when you're talking about. Well, maps have text features because they have like little symbols that tell you what it means on the map.
I got the flag.
My mom's been on a video.
Shelby. Shelby. Is yours photo? I said because
Yeah, my eyes are
Your mama is red, your daddy did.
yeah, they were I'm like, you're coming over the island. I want to get to heaven. And I'm like, I
How about right now?
I have to repeat off my big
What do you say, bro?
It has to be neat.
It looks very nice. Now I need to pick up these papers from y'all, so I need to pick those up. So you have
They just mess up the actors.
Okay, where do y'all think would be a good place to put this glass?
Roger looks like I think Roger gets the regular one. One that's white.
Y'all put your scholastic on this
Man, this Joker must have been like maybe he probably didn't pay that. Made it
Yeah. Probably will.
But if the life is already done and I love
Everyone's papers?
I told River
So we have a few minutes for recess. I know Miss Nelson posted something to iExcel. It's assignment text features. So y'all probably won't get done with it, but check on that and do that for a few minutes before recess. Season has some charge. It's select and use text.
Is it identified?
Select and use text structures.
Oh, Max Drum.
I'll go ahead and go with my Excel, and there's assignment select and use text structures. That should be very close to something.